What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, She J Hercules, out here vibing with the one, the only Walshy Fire, man.
Big up. It's a pleasure to be here with you, man. I listen to your show all the time.
Thank you.
You're really good.
Thank you. That's
really, really good.
That's a super honor for me, man. Because
we'll do another interview where I try to figure out how you got to where you are, because man, that's a great journey, man. I did not know. Everybody out there, I just asked her a few questions. I did not know she was Guyanese and did not know she was St. Lucian. That's crazy.
Yep.
So crazy.
We got the mix, and you're Jamaican, right?
Yeah, of course, man. 100%.
Kingston, right?
Yeah,
Growing
man.
up.
You know what the thing go. Man. Original bad boy.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
But listen, Walshy, man, just getting into like music and growing up, like how did that start for you?
Well, I grew up in Carroll City.
Okay.
And so there was a few people that had a major influence. One of them being Clint O'Neill. Okay. He had a radio show on 91.3, which is NPR. It's one of them yeah. But he had the only reggae show on radio in South Florida.
Wow.
And so for South Florida to have such a large Caribbean population and him have the only reggae show was crazy. If you guys ever do want to do some research on Clint O'Neill, he's one of the only people to have Bob Marley on his radio show.
Ooh, major.
Yeah. And so he had Bob Marley drops. He had jingles from Bob Marley. Like how I just gave y'all jingles, he had that from Bob Marley.
That's crazy.
Right? So that's crazy. So, of course, he passed a couple of years ago from cancer. But I used to record his shows overnight.
Right.
Then, of course, you have DJ Laz.
Yeah.
You have Uncle Al. You know, you have all the influences as I get into my teenage years.
Right.
As introductions to my love for DJing.
Yes.
Because I already had a love for music through my mom.
Okay.
But the love for DJing, the talent of DJing, you know, watching Uncle Al and Jam Pony and those guys, regulate over the song and, mic check over the song and talk over every word and how they were, it was masterful,
Yeah.
Of course, DJ Laz, the things that he did and represented the city, it was just unbelievable. And I saw the importance of the Miami sound and me being a part of that and not letting that legacy die.
Right.
So those guys are who I credit with my early influences.
That's very nice, man. I mean, I could say the same too, like growing up, down here, like just being in the city, like you said, you listen to people like that, and then you end up, like when you get that opportunity and then now you're like working with them.
Crazy. First time I met DJ Laz, I kind of fanboyed.
Yeah.
Like no joke, because that's 3 decades of my life, listening and watching DJ Laz. And now I'm talking to him and he's just like, yo, what's up? We should work. I'm like, yeah, I guess we should, right?
Dream.
I met Uncle Al a few times as well. I used to go to I used to watch him DJ at Hollover Beach, or he used to DJ on 15th Avenue.
Right.
And I used to go down there and stuff like that. Never got a chance to sit and talk with him.
Yeah.
But I was able to see him perform live either there or at the Pac Jam.
Right.
Shout out to DJ Nasty. A lot of people don't know the Pac Jam was an actual club.
Yeah. Back in the days, it was
They think it's just a cool name for a radio show. But the reason why they call that radio show the Pac Jam is because the relevance of the Pac Jam to Miami culture.
Yep.
I'm sure someone's going to do a documentary on it one day.
Yeah, they need to. I mean, and you're schooling them right now.
Yeah, I got they interview me. Anything Miami, interview me. I was there.
Yeah, you're the boss, man.
Yeah.
So, and then I just wanted to know, because as a DJ, like I definitely want to move on myself, even into producing.
Yeah.
How was that like transition as well? It goes hand in hand with DJing.
It does now, but when I first started, it did not. Because you bought records. You didn't do production. You just were a DJ. It never blurred.
Right.
So I'm late to that game. To be honest with you, I look at like Khaled and I look at like some of the other people who were on some level early transitioners.
Right.
From DJing over to producing. So for me, with Major Lazer, I feel personally late to the game, but of course right on time.
Yeah.
Everything's right on time.
Never too late to be great.
Never too late to be great. So yeah, I definitely wanted to begin to curate the party with my own sound, instead of just being the person who took other people's curations and made, the room sound like how they wanted it to sound. Now I want it to sound how I want it to sound. So.
And where do you get your like creativity from? Like to just, you know what I mean? Like
traveling, experience.
Traveling.
And that's one thing I'll tell anybody out there, man, travel.
Yeah.
Travel. And I mean, now with Instagram, everybody want to get lit, so they traveling just to kind of post on Instagram. Whatever your reason is, travel, you know what I'm saying? I think traveling is more important than going to college. And I went to college. You know, I went to Clark Atlanta University.
Okay.
And I went to FAMU for grad school.
Ooh.
So, you know what I'm saying? I kept at HBCU all the way.
Right.
So for me, when I went to Clark Atlanta University, I had a great experience there in Atlanta. And I loved living in Atlanta and going to that school.
Right.
And then FAMU was another great experience. But none of them experiences compare to traveling.
Yeah.
You know, and so I would tell anybody out there, this is how it should be. And I wish people could feel me what I'm saying, but if you don't, it's all good. Let's see.
They feel this energy.
18 years old when you graduate high school, right? Mm-hmm. I went to North Miami Beach High School. So, you know, NMB. You graduate NMB, don't go to college.
Yeah.
Travel. Use whatever money you got. Mm-hmm. Take a year and travel. When I travel, I see these little white kids backpacking all over the world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's what I should have done at 18.
Right.
I should have been in Barcelona, you know what I'm saying? Experiencing life.
Yeah.
I should have been in Kenya experiencing life. I should have been climbing some mountain, doing some
Himalayas.
Yeah, eating some food that I never thought I would ever try.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when in Guyana I had iguana for the first time, and I was like, yo, this is what you got to do. You got to go out there and you got to travel. You got to experience.
Was it iguana, or was it iguana curry?
It was iguana curry.
It was iguana curry?
The big debate. Yes,
So
in Guyana, it was iguana
chicken,
curry.
It was chicken curry.
It wasn't curry iguana.
Iguana curry. He had iguana curry.
That's
and
a joke that
coconut.
only a few people would get.
Yeah.
Because it's a very insular joke for Guyana and Trinidad.
That's too funny.
Yeah, so that's my personal. I look back on life and say, yo, at 18.
Yeah.
Also at 18, I think the idea of going to college and actually learning something is not really, like, you don't really know what you want to do in life.
Right.
You know, so for me, I think that college is something you should do when you go, you know what, I want to be a mechanic.
Yeah.
So I go to mechanic school.
Yep.
Versus just spending, tuition right now
4
is
years.
crazy.
Yeah.
And you spend all that money, and you don't have a contract with that college that says, I give you $150,000. Mm-hmm. You guarantee me a job.
No, not
they
at all.
Don't.
Not at
they
all.
don't. So since you don't have a contract that says, all right, I'll give you $150,000, you give me a job.
Right.
Since there's no such thing as that contract, I wouldn't go. Not until you know what you want to do. You can take that same $150,000 and start a business, invest it in stocks, invest it in real estate, and be way better off and have way more money in 4 years than have the debt of college and still no world experience, no guarantee of a job, no guarantee of a good education.
Yeah, that's true.
But hey, who am I talking to, right?
Hey, I mean, you talking to them. You're talking to the people.
There's a lot of people out there that are hearing this, though, and I know that we're pushing into new concepts. You know, the other day I was looking at a school, and the school was like, we're not going to teach your kids how to write, how to use a pen and write. And at first I was like, but then I thought about it. I was like, when's the last time I wrote?
That's true.
And I was like, this school is so forward thinking.
Right.
That they're like, pass him, writing his name. There's certain things that, we don't need cursive again. Nobody's writing a full sentence in cursive. Nobody's
true. Full paragraph.
You're not sending a love letter no more.
Yeah, no love letters.
You know what I'm saying? So why would you teach something to someone that they're not going to use at all? And at first I was kind of fighting it.
Right.
And then I thought about it and I was like,
okay,
dang, man, y'all are right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to be writing cursive in 10, 20 years.
That is true.
So, what I'm saying might be too forward thinking for a lot of people. The idea of at 18 not going to college, traveling the world.
It's not always a bad thing.
Yeah, but at 20, 21, when you've come to figure out what it is that you want to do, then you go to school for it.
True. So. No, I agree 100%. And just like in your career, man, what I admire just is that, so many artists that you just, like you just moved up this ladder, you know what I mean? You've worked with so many people from Justin Bieber to Sean Paul to you just created this like mass movement, you know what I mean, with music and Major Lazer. So I really, really respect that, you know what I mean? And just out of fun, did you have anybody in particular that you enjoyed working with? I know there's a lot. Just any studio sessions is unforgettable that I was like, man, when you walked out, you were like,
nah, no joke. All of them are so dope. We have got a formula now where we don't work with people that we're not friends with.
Okay.
So,
true.
right. So if I say, yo, I want to work with JAMZ.
Right.
I'll never do it until me and Jay-Z can sit down and have a great conversation and become friends.
Friends first. Then business after.
But shout out to Beyonce, who did put us on her Lion King album.
Nice.
Yeah, the song is called Already. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that 99 Jams got it in the mix. Oh, so so that kind of stuff you don't turn down. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm using Jay-Z as a ridiculous example, because if Jay-Z called me and was like, send an email, Willie. Right. I'd be like, yeah, my name's Willie for sure, and I'm sending that email. I'm not even thinking twice about it. Right away. But for the most part, all the projects have been
pretty fun.
Pretty fun because we're working with friends.
Dope. Yeah. No, that totally makes sense, definitely. And just another thing that I admire about you, I got like a couple, I mean, this interview could go on for days probably, but there's just a couple things that I just want to touch on. A lot of your albums and stuff like that, to me, they're so powerful. Like, it goes from anywhere from peace is the mission, you know what I mean? Free the universe. Right. Music is the weapon. Right. And then one of my favorites now, that I've, researched and just loved was A Bang.
Thank you.
I want, for the people that don't know too, I think it's just dope. Yes, A Bang.
I'm wearing my merch.
Listen, clothing line and all people.
Maddecent.com. Get the merch.
I'm telling you, I'm about to get my shirt soon too. So listen, but A Bang, for those who don't know, I think it's such a cool concept behind it. I just want you to explain.
All right, yeah. So a bang, this is an actual a bang. This is a horn. Oh, well, not everybody can see, but an a bang is a Ghanaian word. It's from the Akan language. Right. And it's a horn, a bull's horn. Yes. And it's used to communicate long distances. Yes. And so me being an African who was then brought to Jamaica and then brought to Miami, but yet still the African culture is communicating through everything I do. The name fit, but also was the name of a good friend of mine that passed in a car accident. Yes. And so Bang Stewart, rest in peace, big up everybody in South Florida. Yeah. Put up on a lighter right now, because you have to put on some lighter for the man. Yeah. But big up the youth every single time. Real good guy, real good chef. Yes. And his name was A Bang, and I used to make fun of his name all the time. Guys be like, "What a funny name!"
Yeah, A Bang. Yeah.
And for anyone out there that's from the Caribbean, making fun of names is a major fun part of your day. Yeah. And so I used to be like, a bang bang biddy boy boy, biddy bang bang biddy boy hoy. You know what I'm saying? I used to be all singing all kind of songs with his name in it.
But she seemed like
his name was dope.
Real close to your heart. Yeah, like you said, guy. Real powerful meaning too. You know what I mean? To have a name like that, obviously growing up in America, you get regular names or whatever. Yeah, but still, for
his parents, to have done that, applaud them. And that's why anytime I meet somebody with a Swahili name, or a lot of the times in America, we end up making fun of people who have names that are, as we would say, ghetto. But in actuality, that's the Africanness fighting through the colonialism. So when you meet somebody that's named Dirkwisha, you got to actually applaud that. Right. And be like, you know what? That's awesome. Your name is actually awesome. Yeah, because it's different. It's different, and there's an Africanness to it that your parents, didn't want to let go. And even though they might not have thought about it, there was something in them that was just fighting through in the name making process. So for me, when I hear people with names like Jaquel and I hear people make fun of those kinds of names, I'm always like, actually, those names are pretty awesome. Right. They actually have a point. Like you said, they have originality, creativity. There's some depth to the name.
Yeah, it's
right.
Deep.
It's way better than John and Mary. You know what I'm saying?
Stacy, whoever. Sorry for offending y'all, but there's definitely different names out there. And speaking of just being out there, rum and bass, I got to touch on that.
Got to, because we be in that.
Yeah, man.
Tuesday night.
Tuesdays,
it's the modest thing.
Yeah, man.
Koyo Taco, every Tuesday. The number one Tuesday night party, no question. If you want to hear reggae and hip hop on a Tuesday night, it ends at 2 a.m. So get there early. Yep. But definitely, you can get to work after. But for sure, Koyo Taco in Wynwood, you just go through Koyo Taco, you go into the back.
Yep, go straight to the back.
Go through the back.
That's the coolest thing. You go.
It's a speakeasy, right? Yeah, you don't know it's there.
You're going to I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get some tacos. They're like, no, come to the back, and you're like, okay, where are we going? And then it's this whole different vibe. Back there. Yeah, man. And I think that's the coolest thing about you. And then I think that makes you humble. You know what I mean? You're out there all the time. We see videos of you all the time. Turned out up. There. Yeah, just lit. And then you got that little segment where you put your hands up and you start clicking. Hey. And you vibe. You know what I mean? And you bless
It's up. A lot of conversation.
Yeah.
That's one thing I will tell you guys. Be prepared to have a good conversation with me. Yes, you
Yes.
will party, but I want to hear your voice.
Right.
And so we're going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about success all night long. We're going to talk about something positive all night long. And we're going to talk about accomplishments. That's
Yes.
what the night is about. And, of course, the music accompanies that. So if you're in that mind frame, come out every Tuesday, man.
Yeah,
it's
no,
lit.
trust me, every Tuesday we're going to be there. And I
Have
think
you
that's
DJ'd there before?
No,
not yet.
I went
Gotta
out
have
and it was, Koyo was definitely like being there was just like one of the dopest vibes. Like spot wise to me,
Yeah,
and when
man.
with that I went, like it just felt so natural,
Yeah,
so
man.
comfortable. You know what I mean? So that you throw your party there all the time. It's like I think that's totally dope.
Yeah,
and
man.
did it originate right
At
there?
Koyo Taco, yeah, man.
Okay.
That was the first place.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man. So,
I mean, I
but it
think
goes all over the world now. Paris,
Yeah.
Toronto, New York, LA.
I was gonna say, how is the vibes out there?
Great, man. Paris
Yeah.
was unbelievable,
Yeah.
man. So Toronto's next, September the 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because I was looking up some dates and I was like, I don't know if I could catch a flight.
Yo,
with
trust
this
me.
hurricane coming, but
Yeah,
we go.
man. It's like a
But
mud.
we're gonna do something, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that go
So
mad.
I think that's really cool. And then, are you like looking to expand that to like even Jamaica?
Yeah, one day, man. I think
Yeah?
that I'll crawl.
Okay.
Crawl before I walk and just take my time. Paris, New York, LA, and Toronto are major, and then I do the block party for Art Basel.
Yes.
So
yes.
those are time consuming.
Yeah, definitely.
So if I do bring it to the Caribbean, I'll let you know. But
What-
right now,
Yeah.
I'm drained. And
I know.
gotta-
I could.
yeah.
I could only imagine like all that traveling and everything.
Yeah, so-
And just like another just side question. Speaking about traveling though, going back with that, is there any place that you visit just out of all the places that you visit that you just couldn't connect to the most, or
Yeah,
that
man.
you've got like the most out of?
Yeah, man. Africa always.
Africa, right?
Yeah,
I
man,
was thinking
Africa
that.
always, man. Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, South Africa.
Right.
Just amazing places, and I love it.
And then, how do you feel about female DJs on the rise and everything?
It's
Producers,
popping right now, yeah,
like,
man.
do you have a favorite?
Say Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah.
Jasmine Solano. Sorry.
Solano. I was saying
Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Jasmine Solano.
Okay.
DJ'd my rum and bass in LA, and man, she tore it down
Yeah.
differently.
Yeah.
And I know she does a party in New York as well, and I know she's from Philly.
Right.
So her where she's from, where she lives, and then her doing what she did in LA. I would say she's one of my favorite. Also, Venus
Okay.
in New York, amazing
Yeah.
DJ. There's also Kitty Cash
Okay.
in New York, amazing DJ.
Because they're on the rise now.
They're on the rise, and they're getting bigger
rise.
bookings, and they're really tearing every party up.
Yeah.
Really tearing everybody up.
And that's what I respect.
Jasmine is the only one that actually talks on the mic,
Really?
like really talks. The rest
Yeah.
of them will kind of like say hi and stuff.
And
But
vibe.
right. Like, hi, my name is.
Yeah, and that's about it.
But I do believe that that's the one thing that female DJs I don't see enough of is
Okay,
talking on the
talking.
mic and vibing and just being, because your personality can come through mixing for sure.
No, most
but man,
definitely.
when you speak,
That's it.
and you can make a joke.
That's it.
Yo, that's personality.
Yep.
And so I don't see a lot of females with the personality. I see a lot of them doing a lot more like Instagram type of
Yeah.
fashion.
Like a physical appearance.
Yeah,
or,
physical appearance.
yeah.
Like, yo, look at how I express myself through how I dress.
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of people give female DJs such a hard time.
Yup, a bad name.
because
'Cause
it ends up being fake almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's like, oh, they can't mix, or they just look good behind the
Right.
turntables. You know
So
what I mean?
like, if you guys notice, most male DJs
Yeah.
wear a t-shirt and a hat.
and yeah, I had in some
And
jeans.
they don't be trying to dress like dope at all.
Yep.
Right? They be wearing a wife beater
Yep.
and a hat.
And still throwing down. That's true.
And they go in.
Yeah.
And so the female DJs have become much more
sex appeal.
fashion and sex appeal, right?
Right.
Like breasts have become a major part of it, and so
Yep.
that kind of takes away from the focus on the talent.
Right,
And
of
so
course.
what I end up suggesting is fine. You want to be all about fashion, cool,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But get on the microphone, because if
Right.
you don't get on the microphone,
That's it.
then to me,
Yeah.
and this is just me.
Yep.
I ain't saying to anybody else, this is just me. You're actually not helping the female DJ movement push forward.
I agree. No, I agree 100% because even just going back to like my mom, she's like my number one supporter, my biggest fan.
thing.
She helps, manage me and things like that.
Oh,
like,
dope.
Yeah, so like I'll be DJing and doing a set and vibes are dope. And I'll just see her in the corner. She's like, talk. talk. And I was like, all right. I was like, you know, because sometimes it's like you gotta warm up.
That's
but
her mom.
She in my corner.
That's
like,
her mom saying,
talk. You know what I mean? But like once I get warmed up, and like you said, I crack a joke.
Yeah.
It could be about anything. It's just more of
that's
like
when you're gonna
comfortable.
notice who floats to the top. As soon as you get on that microphone,
that's it.
And you make a joke, then you realize, yo, you know how like on Instagram, a model, for example, could have millions of followers,
right,
but she would never post a video of her talking. It'll only be pictures.
Yes, yeah.
And that's because the moment she says something, she's ruined it for everybody, kind of, right? Like people are like, "Oh, she's dumb."
What?
Yeah,
like,
she
that's
can't
what
even
she
even
like?
speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's what I look at the female DJs. It's like these Instagram DJs.
Yeah.
And it's like, look at my fashion and look at my and I hate to say it, but a lot of them are like, look at my breasts.
Right.
You know, and you end up being like, yo, nah, show me you're intelligent.
Yeah.
Show me that you can say something intelligent on the microphone. Talk.
Yeah, have fun with it. I think it helps you have fun with it a little bit. Sometimes
show
you'll
us
be
the
nervous,
depth.
But sometimes it's like, no, I gotta talk. I gotta have fun with it. I don't care, like, you know, whatever the case is, you know what I mean? And it's like, you have to know how to pick fun.
Right.
And like, you know, and have fun, you know, and people have to like know how to do that. So even if you stumble on your words and you might say something.
Keep going.
Yeah, just keep going.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, yo, your fan base will be so much more in love with you because you are doing something that means so much to them. A conversation means so much to people.
No,
they walk away with that more than the music.
Exactly, and I feel like that's how they get to know you. Like being in radio, you know what I mean? They don't really see me half the time.
Right.
And then when they do, they be like, oh, I thought you was a lot taller. And I'm like, oh, that's what we doing? But I was like, oh, so okay. No, but I'll be like, listen, you know what I mean? Like, I try to put all my passion, all my love into like the turntable so they know I can mix. I don't care about how I look. Like you said, I look nice today, but I was like, you know what I mean? We had Walshy Fire coming through, so I was like, let me put on some clothes, you know what I'm saying?
Can I just go back and say how funny the idea of your mom in the corner?
Oh, man. Listen, mom don't play.
Talk now, talk.
Girl, talk. Yeah. Open your mouth. Open your eyes. And I'm like, yo, mom, like, sure. Yo, she be, like,
open your mouth.
I was like, yo, if I don't, she gonna beat me.
I love it.
Nah, she never did that. But, you gotta love West Indian parents, too. I mean, like you said, that's your upbringing. It's your culture and stuff like that. But they're gonna be number one. Like, they're your number one fans.
Yeah,
you know
shout
what
out to my mom, too, man. My number one fan.
Yeah, man.
She asked me to go get some water for the hurricane for her.
Uh-oh.
So I got to go help her out.
Hey, you better, because you know what? When you ain't going to get no food when you go home.
Yeah, you know, and I love mom's cooking. So yeah.
What's your favorite plate? Well, just as a side note.
You know, I don't eat meat anymore.
Okay.
So for her, she's very unhappy with that.
I was just about to say, she probably so mad at you.
Yeah, she don't like that at all, man. And you know, I don't eat rice anymore, and I don't eat bread anymore, and you know, that's very on them.
Yeah.
So you know, just a more conscious level of eating has actually made her have a more conscious level of cooking when I'm coming over.
Okay.
So she'll do a little quinoa, yeah, and some salad and some greens, and it'll taste just as good.
Yeah,
and
I'll be
so happy about
West Indian parents, I think they can make anything.
Yeah,
they can
of course.
flavor your water, and you'd be like, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
A fact.
You know
that's
what
actually
I'm
a fact. You know, that's a fact.
And just like to like kind of come back around, what's next for you? I just want you to tell the people
we got a new song with Major Lazer coming out called Que Calor.
Okay.
And that's with J Balvin and El Alfa.
Yes.
And you know, I just showed you the video, so you just heard it. It's gonna be really good. It's gonna go for sure. It's gonna go.
Fire.
No question. It's gonna go. Like folks out there, believe me when I tell you, no question. It's gonna go.
Yeah,
it's gonna go.
He's being modest. Like it's
gonna go. Yeah.
Like you're straight to the top.
Yeah. So I hope you guys really are ready for it. Major Lazer. Song's called Que Calor, and it's featuring J Balvin and El Alfa, and that drops September the 11th.
Perfect.
So that's the next thing.
Yeah, man. Next project. I think it's just like one thing after another with you. I think you're dope. So humble.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
all your accomplishments. You know,
I really
just sitting by you and being able to like chop it up with you, I think is super dope.
Thank
you. Before I wrap up too, just want to have a little fun with you real quick. I made like a little funny icebreaker.
Yeah.
So
let's do it.
The first question is Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, or KFC from Jamaica? That's like a real hard one though, for real.
So here's the thing, right? And this is where I ruin people's jokes like that. I ruin it. This is how I ruin it.
Well, she's about to tell the truth.
Yeah,
now.
man.
Y'all pay attention to what he says.
I ruin it, and I get these kinds of jokes all the time in interviews, and I ruin it. I ruin it so much. Mm-hmm. Please tell me where's the black-owned chicken business in there?
The black-owned?
Yeah, where's the black-owned chicken business in there?
It's probably KFC.
No, none of them.
None?
So therefore, none of them. None of them.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
Support local black business.
I'm not mad at it.
So y'all
It's
shout
true.
out. Yeah, y'all hit Herc up and be like, yo, this is the local person that's selling this kind of food that can
Please
compete.
tell me.
Yeah, man.
Because
And
I
let's-
like to eat. So
and let's,
please
and
tell
let's
me.
shout them out. You know what I'm saying? Let's shout them out. So,
will.
yo, those 3 people that you just named, one, none of them are sponsoring me
Yeah.
or you.
Yeah,
So
true,
we ain't
true,
giving
true.
nobody no free promo. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we ain't gonna say none of their food tastes good.
Right,
None
right.
of them put
You know who we gonna say food tastes good? Your mom's food.
my mom food.
Yeah.
And then 2, you know what I'm saying? Back to health, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We want to promote, you know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that the people of melanated skin, you know what I'm saying, understand that this food is not designated, it's not designed for us to be healthy. It's not designed for us to live
true.
longer.
With all
It's
the hormones and antibiotics. They're trying to kill us, man.
They're trying to kill us.
All them chicken sandwiches
So,
y'all been
you know
eating.
what I'm saying? While you enjoy it, and I'm not mad at you and enjoying it,
Yeah.
at least the awareness of while you eat it going, man, this is actually going to kill me one day.
Right, it's true.
It should at least be in the back of your mind.
It's true.
So that maybe you don't eat as many.
Yeah.
Maybe you get
true.
a 2-piece instead of the 3-piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or a 1-piece.
Because I want to see it, man. You know, and growing up in Miami, and anybody out there that's growing up in any ghetto across
Mm-hmm.
America, and I'm sure that 99 Jams has listeners all over the world that
Oh,
tune
yeah.
in to the #1 station in South Florida, no question. You see the same thing everywhere. You see diabetes. You see people with heart attack, heart issues.
Right.
And you know that it's the fried chicken. You know, it's the fried
Yes.
food. It's the fried food.
It's in the
you know,
food.
as much as I love fried, cracked conch and
all that good stuff.
and all that good stuff, man, I understand that stuff is not healthy for me.
That's
and so
true.
we want to see more healthy options. I don't think there's a single smoothie place in Miami Gardens. And if
It's true.
if I'm incorrect, please
I'm about to say, let us know.
hit
because-
Herc up.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, at She J
and
Hercules.
let me know
let
where
us know.
from
Like-
from anywhere near 27th Avenue and
Yeah.
183rd Street.
Yeah.
Let me know where I can get a smoothie because
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true. No, that definitely true.
There's like 8 different places I can get chicken wings though.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
So we gotta be at least aware.
We gotta be aware and do better.
And do better. So we gotta make the change, and I'm a part of the push.
Yeah.
You know, for change.
No, you definitely are more a part
Yeah.
of that movement. And just one last funny question.
Yeah, man, I'm with it.
Scarface or Shatas?
Yo, that's so good. That's a good one.
That's a good one, right?
That's a good
Because
one, man. That's a good one.
I thought
Miami,
real hard about this one.
Miami Scarface is so like, as a Miami person,
It's Scarface and
Scarface
Shatas.
is so, yeah, exactly.
know?
They're both on the Miami side. They're both so important.
Yeah.
And then on the Jamaican side, Shatas is so important. So I'm gonna say Shatas.
Shatas.
Just because you know,
Rep.
shout out to Tikimani Marley, and shout out to Sprague Benz, and shout out to all the people that I know personally that were in that movie.
Yes.
I don't know anyone personally that was in Scarface.
Scarface,
But I do know that the guy that used to be on Que Pasa USA was the
like-
main guy. Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember Que Pasa USA. Do you remember Que Pasa USA?
Too
You remember
young.
it? Que
Yeah,
Pasa USA, pam 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 pam. Are you from Miami?
Ooh, right?
I might have to get a little.
That must
Yeah,
be-
you might have to get G checked on that one. Que Pasa USA is a must know.
Get checked in the gut.
You got to go on YouTube right now,
Right?
and watch Que Pasa USA.
But then, no, that's a good answer though.
Yeah.
I definitely give that to you. So just once again, that's as a wrap up. Let the people know where to follow you.
Yeah,
again,
man.
Your new music.
Big up to everybody out there watching and listening, of course. Walshy Fire, WALSHY FIRE on anything. Definitely hit me up. I always respond. And much respect to Herc. Much respect to
Thank you.
99 Jams. And thank you guys, everybody in South Florida, home team. It feels so good to get any love. This is my first time ever being on 99 Jams, by the way.
What?
It's crazy.
Yo, I feel so. I don't know why. I just got
actually
chills.
is crazy. It
That's
actually is crazy. And,
The
you know, there's a whole, I think, reason
Yeah.
behind that.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I've been doing radio in South Florida for a long time, and I think that's been a
Right.
major part of the reason.
Okay.
Because I was on another station.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I think that's another reason. That is the reason why I've never been on this one. But you know, the Major Lazer story and the Walshy Fire story, I do believe, need to be told. It's a great journey.
For sure,
And so
for
I'm
sure.
glad to be here
No,
on
it's
99 Jams telling it.
It's a crazy story. So
Yeah.
thank you. Yes, like you said, thank you so much. Things have changed. It's a first. You know,
Yeah,
I
man,
get
it's the
to
first
interview.
time
You
ever.
know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
then it's only up from here.
Yeah, man. Big up.
Walshy Fire, She J Hercules, 99 Jams, Miami's #1 for hip hop and R&B. It's a wrap.
Love.